Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and I'm here to say I am mad right now. I am upset, and I need your help. All of the people that have been calling me a conspiracy theorist and a nut, here's the thing, you guys. I now have proof positive that we have been taken advantage of, and the data that we are given as consumers to make up our minds on what we should do. Should we spend our money? Should we stay on the sidelines? All of that data, you guys, has been wiped away. All of the price decline for new homes, everything that we have been talking about for the last year and a half, it's gone. Take a look. Approximately 3 days ago, we had massive revisions. 3 days ago. It took me 3 days to finally put this overlay on here. And what I want you guys to do is stop what you're doing. I want you to pay attention to me. And I want you to really look at what I'm showing you. The chart on the top is unrevised. The chart on the bottom is revised. I want you guys to note, looking at the chart on the top, the peak was 500,000. The new peak for new homes is now 460,000. They revised it downward 40,000. But not only that, notice the months to the left and to the right of the peak. We had multiple months where home prices were over 480,000 and 460,000. And now we have no months like that. They have completely erased the data right before our eyes. And I guess my question to you is, do you care? Because, obviously if people cared, then they wouldn't be getting away with this. So let me ask, and I'm not picking on my viewers, but who's at fault here? Is it the consumer that just doesn't care, that keeps spending to the end? Or is it our officials that keep manipulating us with the data? And if you guys still trust the data after looking at what I just showed you, I don't know what else to do. But here's the good news. Here's the great news, guys. The best news of all. Remember this. We are aware of subdivision analysis. And because we are aware of subdivision analysis, guess what? We don't have to fly blind so long as we are doing the effort in our markets. But nevertheless, guys, let's get started and let me give you guys an update on the full scale of what's going on in new home data. First of all, let's start with sentiment. Okay, so here's an article from CNBC. Home builder sentiment turns positive for the first time since July. And guys, why wouldn't it turn positive? They knew about these revisions, right? The whole narrative is gone. The 19, almost 20% of price decline is gone. They've wiped it away from history, except for our videos. Good thing we have the videos. Good thing that I save my screenshots. Am I right? 3 bullet points, we'll move on. U.S. home builders are feeling more confident about their businesses because the Fed is changing the data. Bullet point number 2, home builder sentiment went positive because the Fed is changing the data. Bullet point number 3, the popular 30-year fixed rate mortgage has hovered around 7% since February. Who cares, liars? Because regardless of their confidence, new home sales are tumbling amid a weakening housing market despite all of the data corruption. And here's the thing. I can't afford to drive around the nation, you guys. That's part of the reason why I haven't been again around the nation. I can't afford it. Really what we need to be doing on top of that subdivision analysis, we got to be going boots on the ground. That's why for the last, year and a half, and I've teamed up with Melody, we're going around the nation filming things. I got my FHA license to fly my drone to show you what's happening on the ground is not what's happening on paper. You guys get it yet? This makes me mad. They have erased any caution. I mean, what case do we have now for price decline? I mean, my God, you guys, what they're doing to us is absolutely mind-blowing. It's disgusting. It's despicable. But what are you going to do about it? Back into the article. The spring housing market is turning into a bust as new home sales fell 4.7% in April. Why so confident? Sales are going down. You guys get it yet? They're fools. They want their stock prices to go up. That's what we see here. It's the greed, corruption, and fraud, you guys. The April number came out at total sales of 634,000. That's annually adjusted, and that's down from the revised 665 for March, which originally was estimated at 693. So sales are down. Now, don't worry, you guys. Towards the end of this, I'm going to show you how much supply we have. for new homes. It's back at 2010 levels. The new homes right now, you guys, insane. How do you revise all that data like that? I mean, we're talking about multiple home builders. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of transactions. I mean, I'm still struggling to process what they just did to us. Regardless, here's some more data. So if you like corrupt new home market data, then this is the video for you. This is new privately owned housing units authorized as far as permits. Okay, so here's our permits. What I want to know, guys, is basically month to month, we did have downward trajectory of new permits, but the permits right now are still super high. They're at 1.4 million. So although that did trend down for the last 2 months, it's still high. It's still, basically where we're at mid 2019, a little bit higher than mid 2019. Now, when it comes to house units that are actually started, it's 1.36 million. That actually went up month to month. So the data, in other words, you guys, is all over the place, but that's until they revise it. So once they have the board meeting or whatever they have to revise data, trust me when I tell you, this could be potentially be all revised in one day. They can completely change the course of history as we know it in one day. My gosh, this is crazy. Here's what a lot of people watch: single family residence. So single family units. Okay, now single family units, this is actually really, really good because a lot of people are like, oh, they're just building apartments. That's not true. We actually have 1 million single family units under construction. Again, you guys, that's about sideways. So they're still making units for us to purchase. Now, hopefully most of that is not build to rent. Hopefully it's build to sell. Nevertheless, we got 1 million single family units coming to the market. Now, this is pretty crazy, you guys. Under construction, new privately owned units under construction. Now, this is total units. So we got 1 million SFRs, but look at 1.6 total under construction, 1.6 million total units. And that's the record. So we have a record amount of I don't know if it's a record amount. It's actually not a record amount. It was, but we have an overwhelming amount of new construction jobs. And when I was talking and listening to Logan, one of the reasons he said we didn't go into recession in 2022 and 2023 was because of the construction jobs. Very interesting if you look at that data. And honestly, the homes that are under construction would demonstrate that there are an abundance of construction jobs. Very interesting to watch that manipulated, fraudulent scam data set, wouldn't you say? Now, when it comes to total units completed, so new privately owned housing units completed, 1.6 million. Okay, so and this is a seasonally adjusted annual rate. So they're saying in 1 year, we're going to have another 1.6 million units come to the market. Now, probably 600,000 is like multifamily and units like that. And about 1 million is SFRs. This is actually really good information. This is really good data. Again, at this point, you guys, I'm so dumbfounded. I don't even know what to talk about anymore. In 2 weeks, is all of this going to change? Think about the beginning of this video. I really want you to think about how they have waved their wand and taken a magic eraser and created a narrative out of thin air. I hate it. And here it is right here, you guys. And here's the narrative right here. There is essentially no decline anymore with new homes. Okay, here's the updated. This updated again a few days ago. New home median went down to $433. $500. You guys can see that month-to-month decline. But again, you guys, they have revised multiple years. Really, in this section right here, they have revised this down, as you saw, 2 tiers. So they didn't just revise it 1 tier down. They revised the entire peak in all of the months to the left and to the right of it, 2 tiers. They're like, 1 tier is not enough. 1 tier will still show price decline. It will still show clear signs of a distressed housing market. So we're going to remove 2 tiers. How do you remove 2 tiers from data that's almost 2 years old? It's median. It's monthly median. How do you do that? What did they do? How did they do that? That's crazy. It's the peak is now 460. Are you guys seeing this? It was 500,000. And after that, it went to 427. You guys, this is just, comment below. All right, help me gather my words here. Comment below. Now, here's one of the most revealing things of all. So they haven't yet revised this data, and this data is very, very dangerous for stockholders and shareholders because this really paints the picture. Again, this is manipulated. And you guys remember what I've been saying. Remember I've been telling you guys that what I'm finding on the field is nothing that's on paper. Do you guys believe me yet? I've been spending thousands and I've lost money, you guys. I can't even save my money right now. I'm spending so much money traveling. I don't get that money back. I can't make enough money on YouTube videos to get paid for all that time and effort and expenses. Do you guys get it now? Do you guys get it now? It's not what is going on the ground is not what's happening on paper. I really hope that through this channel, through our efforts, you guys know this now beyond a shadow of doubt. And the important thing, this is what you do with this information. You take subdivision analysis seriously. Because without it, we are absolutely blinded. And we are blinded from the greed, corruption, and fraud because we can't trust people anymore. And having said that, you guys, we have accelerated now to 9.1 months of supply. Now, listen to what I just said. I said the data's not all here. I've taken you boots on the ground. The reality is that number is probably more like a year and a half. It's probably double that. It's probably 18 months. It probably exceeds where we were at during the great financial crisis right here. We peaked at 12.2 months. I'm telling you guys, the way they collect this data is through a freaking survey. And the survey says that builders have stopped using the survey to report the data. It went, I believe, from 76% participation down to 73% participation. They're using a survey, you guys. Guess who's filling out the survey? The builders. Is anyone auditing the survey? Is anyone at all auditing the survey? I don't think so. But nevertheless, you guys, we are sitting at 9.1 months. That is the highest amount of new construction we have had since right here, May of 2020. That's right, you guys. You heard me. We have as much inventory for new homes right now than May of 2010, and the information is underreported. Now, I'm going to show you guys a platform that I use to do boots on the ground analysis. Now, remember, I use this software to get me to where I need to go. So now remember, you guys, I'm using this software to get me to where I need to go. Now, once I'm there, I'm pulling up, okay, how many homes does it say that's listed? Oh my gosh. And then how many homes are there? And then I'm going into the sales office. I may find additional price cuts. My point in telling you guys all this is we ain't getting the true story, especially when it comes to new homes. But regardless, the site that I'm using, once again, is called New Home Source. Now, what I've done is I just typed in Surprise, Arizona. I've been there. Holy smoke, Surprise is crazy. And when you type in a city, it's going to pull up all of the homes. You guys see this tab right here. So in Surprise, it's saying that they have they're saying they have 2,759 homes. And it also breaks down how many communities by going to the next tab, saying there's 290 communities. You also see how many builders there are in that area. So this is a really good tool. Again, you guys, if you want to see the builders and you want to see a general map, and what I like to do is I like to switch to homes here, and I like to find clusters. Like, for example, it looks like there's a cluster right here. There's a cluster right here. So again, this is kind of where I would target because there's all right, I see that my picture was in the way when I was explaining that. So here's the map right here. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking for clusters of houses. Now, obviously, you guys, we can see that there's a cluster here. So I would obviously do my research, and I have done my research actually on this exact location multiple times, but this is where I'd go because look at all those clusters. Look at that's a massive amount of clusters. These people are building on top of each other. And on the right side here, this is a good way to kind of just find price cuts. You guys can see, you can just scroll down here and just, okay, where's the biggest price cuts? And then just do your recon appropriately. But the thing is, guys, is you got to do your own research because ain't no one going to do a good job at doing research. Here's a $87,000 price cut just right there. Now, in conclusion, I really want to know how you guys think. Now, again, first of all, I want to make a couple points. I have a free form called a subdivision analysis form. Please use the form. It's yours. I also have a link for a free home buying course where you'll learn how to improve your credit, your income, and your assets. You can take your score from a 500 credit score to a 700 credit score. It doesn't cost you anything. It just requires you do it. One more thing, guys, I have got into commercial financing. If you have any questions about commercial financing, if you need a loan or refinance, I also have an application in my description. Fill out the application, send it to my email, and I will personally call you. Now, other than that, seriously, guys, tell me what you think. I mean, are you guys sick and tired of this or what? This is shocking. And I don't care how or why they made the revisions. Look at the narrative that they just changed. You could come up with a scientific formula of why. I'm still not going to buy into it. This is a bunch of BS, what's going on right now, and I really want to know how you feel. Now, other than that, guys, if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know I wish you luck because we need it. Look at the obstacles against us. But regardless, I hope you win.